What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to AJW. This is week 4 or 5. I can't quite exactly remember, but we're getting into the swing of things with our first week of no WWE. Well, NXT, but no WWE to be exact. Matt's going to go ahead and kick us off. We're going to get in a little bit later about our challenge we made about our favorite finishing moves, top 3. Then we got a little bit of news involving some sex scandals that were going on Twitter. Everyone had the exclamation point. Wow, I'm old. Hashtag speak out. A lot of guys' names were thrown out there, and some of them lost their jobs. Some of them got a little bit of a tongue lashing, and some of them are in rehab. So we're going to get into that. But first, we're going to start with some NXT action. Go ahead, Matt. Take us away with some NXT.
So NXT kicked off with Imperium versus Breezango. I didn't think it was a bad match, honestly. Like as far as it goes, like pairing those two up, like I don't think anybody would have said that was a dream match, but it was definitely a good match. Imperium did get the win with that. That was pretty good. Damian Priest versus Killian Dane was kind of lackluster, to say the least. Priest did get the win. I feel weird about where they're taking that character because it's going to be like a face character now. And I feel like he kind of fits the mold of the heel character better.
He was a heel character as Punishing Martinez in Ring of Honor, and I like that character a little bit more than this Damian Priest guy they got going. I like the name a little bit better.
Yeah.
But as far as everything going on, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
There was a women's match in there. I can't say the girl's name. I'm going to butcher it. Zia Lee and Aaliyah.
Yep.
Zaya? Is that what it is?
Zia Lee, yeah.
Zia Lee, okay. Well,
yeah, she's
Aaliyah
from China.
I apologize. Aaliyah got the W over her.
On some bullshit, though.
Yeah. I mean, it was...
Robert Stone's going to come in there and throw up inside of the ring, and that's how a distraction finish is going to go.
Yeah.
Also, if you notice that,
WWE.
and it showed in Zia Lee's a little bit of her inexperience in the ring though, because you notice how they did the roll up pin, she kicked out of it, then she got rolled up again for the 1, 2, 3. It's just like, come on, you obviously knew that was the end of the match. But you don't make it more difficult than it has to be.
The match that I really did like though was Kaden Carter with Casey Quintanza.
She was the one from last week that I kept butchering her name.
Yeah. And then Dakota Kai with Raquel. Dakota Kai gets the win over that. I'm just gonna call her Miss Gonzalez because I can say her last name better than her first name. They look real dominant. Dakota Kai and Gonzalez look really dominant. I like that. I think Dakota Kai is probably one of the better women's wrestlers in NXT right now. She's probably going to move up to the main roster more than likely sooner rather than later, I'm sure.
Well, hopefully not, because if not, then we can't talk about her anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that kind of sucks. I don't even know can you call it the main roster, though?
I don't know what to call it. We're not speaking about it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Then there was a Bronson Reed versus Leon Ruff.
Yeah, it was a squash match.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that was great. Your girl Shotzi Blackheart versus Shotzi Blackheart and
Tegan
Knox versus Banks and Bailey. That was okay. I'm kind of over the women's tag team titles thing.
Well, it's funny you brought that up because I actually referenced that match on Thursday or Friday, I believe, in the To Be Named podcast. The Bailey and Sasha thing's boring, dude. The match was okay because Tegan Knox and Shotzi Blackheart and Sasha Banks and Bailey, they're all good wrestlers. It was just I just didn't have really a care for it, and we all knew the outcome of it too.
Well, what I don't understand is they keep teasing this Bailey Sasha breakup, right?
Mm-hmm.
On and I know it's getting into the main stuff, but it's on NXT too. Just let it happen already. It should have happened. Number one, it should have happened a year ago. So at this point, just let it happen because it needs to just happen and be done. But that was literally the card for NXT. I mean, not really like the.
It
I would
wasn't
assume
lackluster. It was more the promo before. I want to say it was before with all the guys coming out and where they made the match that it's going to be Keith Lee versus Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano. The winner of that match will face Adam Cole for all like a winner takes all. And I think that's going to be a little bit interesting. I hope it is Finn Balor who's finally getting the rub here because he deserves it, really. Adam Cole, I mean, they've been teasing the Adam Cole Finn Balor feud coming back. If they're gonna do it, this is a good way to give him the belt, give him the NA title, and then go and probably take the Karrion Kross, I guess is what I can call him. Karrion Kross and Finn Balor rivalry, which will be just as good as Adam Cole and Karrion Kross.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to make a decision with what they're going to do with Cole anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I mean, honestly, like, his contract's coming up, like, real quick. So, I mean,
it's coming quick.
As far as I'm concerned, like, I could pretty much tell you that I think that Adam Cole's honestly going to jump ship to AEW.
Yeah,
I really truly feel that he is.
Yeah, you said that last week too. And I mean, I as much as I would like to see it, I'm not going to count my eggs till they're hatched. But now let's get into the other show, the AEW show. And you kind of the A show. I kind of didn't. I picked out the points I liked. You went through the whole card. I only picked out some of the points that I liked that were kind of leading into the storylines that are going to probably be going on over the next coming weeks. And so to start off, Anna Jay versus Banyan. I can't say Banyan. Some girl, weird chick.
Yeah.
She had like a bloody eye. She's kind of wild, good wrestler. Well, Anna Jay, after having this whole hype video, they had her come in and lose. Whatever, it is what it is. But the more interesting thing about this was the Dark Order came out, and they're kind of trying to recruit Anna Jay to get a woman within their reigns in the Dark Order, which is pretty cool. It's going to make that faction become something relevant, and it's something that's going to be ongoing for a long period of time. You know what I mean?
I really like the I'm just going to call her the zombie chick because I can't say her name.
Yeah, I can't. It begins with an A. That's all I know.
I dig the gimmick, though. Like, I really, truthfully like the gimmick, and she honestly is not a bad wrestler. I mean, from what I saw of it, she can put on a show. Yeah, she can go. I like.
And so it also, I guess they also referred to. They also gave an envelope to Colt Cabana, and I think that was set up. I think next week, Brody Lee and Colt Cabana. I forget who they're facing, but they're facing a tag team next week. So it's interesting to see if Colt Cabana fully goes into the Dark Order, or if he just kind of buys into a rivalry with Brody Lee, which I'm not going to be opposed to seeing. I think that's going to be kind of interesting as well. A lot of my stuff I say is interesting because there's a lot of interesting things going on. I'm intrigued. That's what wrestling is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you intrigued. Yeah. Also, another one I liked a lot, the Cody Rhodes versus the Ricky Starks match. Ricky Starks was a former NWA television champion. Matt, you may not know him too much. I know of him. I don't know much as far as the backstory or who he is as a professional. But I can say this match was really good. I liked Arn Anderson was getting a little involved. They teased a little bit at the beginning about a possible him leaving the Nightmare family and leaving the Elite and doing their own Four Horsemen, which could include FTR. FTR might be trying to be friends with the Young Bucks.
That Arn Anderson's going to leave?
Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. Because I think they're going to have Shawn Spears a part of it, too, to make a new Four Horsemen, which I think would be actually really good.
Well, it actually would tie into the story, though, with Cody, where, like, everybody kind of turns their back on Cody at some point.
Well, I'm going to get to that, but as of right now, Cody Rhodes, Rick Starks had a fucking dope-ass match. Arn Anderson got involved a little bit, made it really interesting. And Cody Rhodes is still your TNT champion, but Ricky Starks is AEW. He is all elite, the hottest free agent that supposedly is live in AEW. And my last thing I'm going to basically get to is the storytelling between FTR, Butcher and the Blade, and the Young Bucks. Man, it's tying into something that's going to go on for a minute. And I'm just loving everything that they're doing because it seems like the Young Bucks are having a match. Bush and the Blade are coming out. All of a sudden, FTR comes out. They're starting to beat up people. And it's going to be a shame because Jimmy Havoc and I think Kip Sabian were supposed to be a part of this rivalry, but we'll get into that also later. So the storytelling between the Young Bucks, maybe not kicking Cody out of the Elite, but Cody is sort of stepping away from the Elite to do his own thing with his own group of people rather than the Young Bucks who've been doing the Elite thing for so long. It's just going to suck to kind of see if that does actually end up turning Cody Rhodes off of camera on the BTE. I'm not going to be excited to see that by any means because some of the Cody Rhodes skits are the best skits, really. So I don't know, but I like that they have like a long storyline going between these three teams that I think is going to extend further and further, and it might lead to I think probably FTR versus the Young Bucks, Four Horsemen versus the Elite at All Out whenever they decide to have it because everything's kind of so mixed up right now.
Yeah, the only weird thing is though, like. You kind of can't put Cody and Shawn Spears together.
Well, you can't, but at the same time, if you get this kind of heelish character that Cody seems to be directing himself towards the end of the match, that you can actually put those two together.
Yeah, I mean,
they're still good friends, but like, and they reference that many times, so it's just like, he was just trying to jump ahead of the line, and I'm sure they can make
really?
Yeah, he was just all he was. That's why the whole angle between Shawn Spears attacking Cody was he was trying to jump the line.
Okay. Yeah,
that
I mean, it just angle. I mean, if you're somebody who isn't looking at like from behind the scenes, kind of like how we would, you probably be really confused on why Shawn Spears and Cody are okay now, or kosher now.
Well, I mean, they reference in their first battle they were still good friends. And I don't like Shawn Spears never came out and said that that's what he was doing, but as a fan, I can think of trying to put pieces together to a puzzle.
Yeah.
So we got nothing about AEW. We got nothing about NXT. Let's talk about news.
Yeah, there's some sad news going on.
The only positive news I have: Ricky Starks and the one girl who we can't say, the zombie lady. They are both now All Elite. They are now signed to All Elite Wrestling. So that's positive news. But we also got some negative news on behalf of one of my favorite cruiserweights in WWE. Jack Gallagher was recently released. Everyone, and I've referenced this at the beginning of the show, that they had a hashtag speak out. And a lot of females went out and spoke about Jimmy Havoc, Jack Gallagher, Matt Riddle, Travis Banks, and El Ligero that I can recall. I know as far as I'm concerned, El Ligero and Travis Banks are actually looking to file a lawsuit against that person for, I guess, false information. More on that, I'm sure, as the week goes on. This is the most recent stuff I got. Matt Riddle had his debut Friday on SmackDown and also had a sex abuse thing against him, which is kind of weird because I think he's pretty happily married. So I don't know if this must be someone from like years back that's trying to get some money out of him or whatnot. I'm not too sure. The Jack Gallagher one really took me by surprise, though.
Yeah, like the on-screen character wouldn't fit this guy, but we don't know what he's like behind the scenes either. You know what I mean? He might be a total dick behind the scenes. You know, who knows? It is weird though that like those guys like all were in cahoots with this, and then but they just so happen to be like Matt Riddle and especially like Gallagher, like they just happen to be like the up and comers who are probably hitting the main roster like sooner rather than later or have.
So it kind of it seems like it's like a money grab.
It's like especially with Riddle, it's kind of like. I mean, like, his character, if he did something like that, I guess, like, the whole bro thing, you would be like, oh, that's the character, whatever. But, like, I'm sure behind the scenes, if he's happily married, he's not probably going around touching boobies or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the weird thing is, out of all these guys, and these all four were WWE guys, only one of them got fired. The other three probably just got tongue lashing. The one that also picked me up by surprise was Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc got, I believe it was a girlfriend of a girlfriend, I guess, and some things happened. But AEW did the right thing. They released a statement on there saying that he was, they're going to get him through rehabilitation, and then they're going to discuss where they go forward with their relationship upon rehabilitation, which is cool because I'm glad that Jimmy Havoc isn't getting fired because he is a fucking damn good wrestler, and I would hate to see him finally get a chance to show everyone around the world his talent on a national scale, then have it all just like dwindle away, and now you have to go and try to find it in like Progress or something like that because the guy can go.
Yeah, no, he definitely can. But see, like the other side of it is too, though. Like we talked about underutilized talent, and I think that one of us may have mentioned him, in the conversation. This may be the reason why he was mentioned in that conversation. You know what I mean? And if he's on drugs and it's hard drugs, which is what they were kind of leaning towards today, with the rehab and stuff, that's bad. I mean that's really bad, especially if he's making the kind of money that AEW is putting out there. And he has a very light schedule. Huh?
He's making good money, too.
That's what I'm saying. He's making good money. He has a light schedule. So he's like, oh, I'm going to go do coke for the next 3 days, and then I'm going to go get this piss test on Wednesday. I mean, realistically, it's going to be out of his system by then anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, in some better news, and also going towards probably more of the end of our show, Matt gave us a challenge last week of favorite finishers. So we're going to go from 3 to 1. Do you want me to go first, Matt, or would you want to go first?
Yeah, you go first, because I usually go first in your challenges.
So my number 3 is going to be the stunner. There's something about a good old stunner and how people can sell the stunner that you really can't really hate. I threw a submission move in here, so my second favorite move is the sharpshooter. Something about WrestleMania 13, Stone Cold, Bret Hart, and there's just about that iconic moment is the one image every time I think of sharpshooter, I think of that one right there. Plus, it was just a fun move to always show up with my brother in before he got fat. And number 1, and I've probably said this when I talked about my favorite wrestler, Razor's Edge. Not many people can put somebody up looking like a cross and then throw them down their neck. Unless you're Damian Priest, and that's why I kind of like Damian Priest. And also, I found out watching NXT, I don't think it was this week or last week, but Damian Priest's favorite wrestler was Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
So what are your 3, Matt?
My 3, number 3 would be the Scorpion Deathlock, which kind of goes with your sharpshooter. It's kind of the same move, really. In a
sense, I think they just change. I think where the feet, I think it's just the way they hold their feet are just a little bit different. I think instead of going right, left, it's like left, right.
Well, do you know why that Bret Hart called it the sharpshooter? Because whenever you line up their feet as perfectly as he did, it looked like the crosshairs on a scope. Yeah. That's why he called it that. Which, that's pretty cool to know.
That's pretty actually really cool to know. I never
The second one would be probably the Tombstone from The Undertaker. Not anybody else, but the Undertaker. Because nobody really does it as good as The Undertaker, in my opinion. Or did it as good as The Undertaker.
There's Indie Taker, but it's still not as good as The Undertaker.
Yeah. My number 1 that I really like, and it's not even that special of a move, is the Sweet Chin Music.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes out of freaking nowhere, man. He just hits it perfect every time, too.
Well, also, it's not just a Sweet Chin Music. Realistically, it's just a super kick because even when the Young Bucks do it, it's just like that. It's just coming out of nowhere, unexpected. All of a sudden, you're getting a loud, smacking of the chest, and you're like, "Ooh, that looked nasty." And some people can sell it too, like Sammy Guevara can sell it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
A key to a good finish is someone who can sell it. That's why I picked the 3 that I did. The Stone Cold Stunner, The Rock, and Vince McMahon sold the shit out of it. The Sharpshooter, Stone Cold sold the shit out of. Yeah. Plus, Bret Hart he pretends he's really sinking it in, too, which can sell it. And the Razor's Edge, the Razor's Edge probably isn't a sell to make because once someone hits you with the Razor's Edge, you shouldn't even fucking move.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And the same thing goes with yours. So, and that's it's neat. That's what I look forward to in a finish. I need something that's going to tell me that, okay, this is finished.
I don't know. I love a super kick party. Just saying.
Everyone loves a super kick party. But I think that's all we really have for that. We kind of ran through everything real quick because we skipped all the WWE bullshit. So, Matt, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Matthew Mounds, and you can find me on Facebook at Don't Find Me on Facebook.
Yeah. You can find me on twitch.tv/The Ghost Named Greg. On Instagram, I'm The Ghost Named Greg, and on Twitter, I am just Ghost Named Greg. Until next time, we'll see you guys on the 25th. I'm going to actually go ahead and get this video uploaded now, so hopefully everyone can enjoy it in the morning. Until next time, Knuckleheads.
See you later.